It's a miracle. I can even feel you. Caught on camera.
So we're here with Catalina I never can pronounce your name.
Correa.
I can't do that rolling R thing.
It's do Korea. Or Korea.
That's so known as Cat. Trying something new here where I'm interviewing some of the female film students to get their perspective on film and women, like women's roles in film and how their jobs and how they get chances to do things, and how the film school program, is here and their perspective on it as a woman. If that makes any sense. What's different is, Catalina, so where were you born?
I was born in Honduras. I was raised there. I moved here when I was 18, so that was 3 years ago. Well, almost 4 years ago.
Yeah. So right there, like, completely different perspective on, like, film than, that most Americans would have. You probably had, like, a lot of American films stuff you watch, but also films and media.
Yeah, definitely. Like, if we're talking in a movie theater like setting, it was definitely more American. Theaters there are very small, and I lived in an area that was very urban, so there were a lot of people who did speak English. So every time they would bring a movie like a blockbuster, say Superman, they would have to double down on the movies because they had to have one dubbed in Spanish and then one subtitled for people who didn't want to watch it in Spanish. So, but then like television was a completely different thing. I didn't really watch like the American shows. That's where like the more Latin American perspective comes in, because we got telenovelas from like every country. We got.
When you came to America, you you went to Florida.
Yes.
And you attended Valencia College.
Yes. I wasn't in their film program per se. I was doing general studies because I wanted to get a bachelor's. So I was just doing my general classes, and then my plan was always to transfer here. And what I did was I would take film electives, but I got a pretty good idea of their film program, and I commend them. They have a great film program, and because it's a 2-year degree, their focus is more on technical.
And it's more condensed.
Yeah, it's more condensed. There's less theory or less artistic classes, and there's more
how to get it
done, like how to use a Steadicam, which I love the program here at UNO. I think it's a great program, but I think we do need a little bit more of that, like a little bit more of technical classes that teach you like practical stuff.
Yeah. What's interesting is because I saw a film on Kat's YouTube channel, which I'll put a link down below, which is very like she's saying, very technically sound. Like compared to a lot of stuff that's here, I've seen people produce. Its sound is good, the picture's good, the editing's good. It's such a more like better production than some of the stuff you that's here.
The class that was done for it was a lot like a 25-10. It was basically the same, and you had to do a film in the end, but there was less restrictions in the requirements. All like they told us is go do a 3 to 5 minute film on whatever you want, and just handing pre-production, and that was like it. Other than that, you were kind of on your own, and we weren't tied down to like any equipment that we had to use. So what I did, so literally I could have done it on my phone and still gotten a grade. There was a lot of people who were more advanced in the program, and because they're more adults, I mean it's a community college, so people work outside. So there was people who did have their own gear. So I just went on there on the Facebook page and asked someone to like lend me their gear. So a guy very kindly, like the guy who has the logo in front of my movie, that's his production company. So he lent me the camera and he lent me the sound equipment. Yeah. And he had a cool little slider that I used in the end for the last shot.
Yeah, which is, like you say, it's very different because while that being like your first film there, it was done with a higher end camera. And here, if I'm correct, in 2510, you use this like tiny little camcorder.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed when I first took that class because I'm like, I already knew how to use a camcorder, so I didn't really feel challenged enough. But I think if I were to take 35, I haven't taken 3510, but if I were to take that, I think that's a step up definitely, because you use the DVX 200, which you have to qualify on and everything.
Yeah. 3510 is just for you guys to know, is the undergrad version of the class I have tonight, Wednesday nights, with where it's a mixture of undergrads and grad students. For grad students, it's 65. How do you, like, as a woman, getting down to nitty gritty, as a woman filmmaker, female filmmaker, how do you feel, UNO's program, like, at number of teachers or number of female teachers, or how do you feel as a woman being here?
Well, it's interesting. well, like, I'll get this out of the way. It's just my little complaining time. Every time I say I'm a film major, everyone assumes I'm an actress. And I'm like, I hate being on camera. Like, I don't.
Because she's attractive, she must be an actress.
Yeah, no, I suck at acting. I don't see representation just in the general context of women behind the camera. I mean, there definitely are, but I don't think they get as much recognition as they should. In a UNO setting, I feel very comfortable because I think both professors and fellow classmates are usually very supportive and respectful. I've had a couple female professors. Some of them are TAs. I know I had Stevie Cavalier.
Right.
And she was great. And she's a filmmaker, and I've worked on a couple of her films, and I find her scripts great, and I love.
Yeah.
She's a very smooth director, if that makes sense. Like, her shoots are very seamless.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think she's representing, and I've had Angela Catalano that was for film theory, and I think she did a very good job. So yeah, I have no qualms. Yeah, but I think because you have these TAs that are graduate students teaching the lower level classes, that's how you kind of get work as an undergrad.
Mm-hmm.
You meet the graduate students who need help with their second year film or their thesis film, and like that's how.
Which is how we met.
Yeah.
It was on a thesis film, yeah.
Yeah, and like Stevie, what I usually do on sets here, I'm trying to like veer away from it because I want to do more technical things, but what I usually do is production design, art direction, set deck, set dressing, all that jazz. And the reason like Stevie knew I liked that was because I took her class, and then she asked me to help her with her film.
Okay.
And yeah, so it's like you see them as teachers, but then you see them as leaders in their own films. Right. So that's very comforting, I would say. Because I mean, the industry in general has a very bad reputation of being a very sexist, cutthroat industry, like any industry, but and then especially with all the sexual harassment allegations that have come out, which everybody knew about, which is what I find. Yeah. It's like everybody knew about them, but then everyone acts so shocked when they come out.
What do you want to do? What are your plans when you graduate? Because you're a senior, right?
Yes.
Yes. What's your plans when you graduate?
Well, I'm still kind of figuring it out. I may go to grad school to keep the visa. It's easier than trying to get a steady job because it's not like they'll let me freelance.
Right, because freelance, it's not like a 9-to-5 job where like a visa
they have
easily.
They're like, someone needs to sponsor you. So like, if I could maybe get a job at on a TV show like NCIS or Claws, maybe. But I do want to get my master's. So if I get a TA position, I would definitely take it. I'm applying here and I'm applying to other schools.
Which the other school?
UCLA.
Yeah.
Maybe. Hopefully, I don't know. And what I want to do with film is, I do love production design. So I want to do that for a bit, and I love cinematography. So I also want to do that. And if I do write on the side, so I think I'd be one of those writers who sells their own stuff.
Not so much directed.
Yeah, but if I do something that I love and I work on and it's actually absolutely perfect for me, like in my standards, then I would want to direct that. I wouldn't want someone else to do it. Right. One thing I do want to do, which is more, it's less on the production side. I wouldn't live in my country right now. I don't want to go back. I want to stay in the States because I think there's more opportunities here. I like the States. I like y'all's work ethic, and I love how, again, millennials always say the American dream is dead, but compared to other places, like, it's way easier to start from the bottom here than it is, let's say, in Honduras. But I do want to, that's my point. I do want to go back. I think if I build a good portfolio here, that's my opportunity to go back and do something over there. Because there are, some people don't know this, but there are some stunning locations in Honduras. Right. Like, they have islands, they have coral reefs, they have, like, the Caribbean is right there, and it's, like, the prettiest part. Like, you show me beaches in Hawaii, in Costa Rica, like, in Jamaica, and I'll be like, whatever. Over there, if you think it's bad here, over there it's, like, the only real majors are medicine, law, and, like, engineering. Those are the only real things that people that they consider real things. The rest is like bullshit or doesn't exist. Wow. So I would want not only a film program, but an arts program. I think that's lacking. Just arts program in general, not even just university, are lacking in Honduras, which baffles me because it's such a creative. We have such a creative and colorful culture. Cool. But yeah.
Well, that's Catalina, aka
Thank you.
Kat.
But yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for interviewing me,
You're
and
welcome. Thank you for being here.
It's a miracle. I can't even feel you. Caught on camera.